Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you. So, due to popular demand, I will be revisiting the Hero USD, where we shall be looking at how we can take advantage of any trading opportunity during this new week. So, as usual, we shall be looking at what is happening here from a technical standpoint and from an holistic view when we scale up to a much higher time frame. So right here we are on the daily time frame, and on the daily time frame it is very obvious that price action has been on a long-term bearish momentum since sometime in last year, and as a result of this we had this bearish trend line figured out. Now if we zoom into the current structure here, and what do I mean by current structure? I want to be looking at the area since the month of May this year. The first thing we will observe here is sorry about that. So the first thing we are going to observe here is the 1.03750 level. And if you look into the past here, you can see how this level has been a major determinant of price action. Look at what happened here in the month of May. We saw how that level was ordered by pressure at that particular point in time. Then in the month of June, we saw the same thing here, but the buy pressure here appears to be diminishing at this point. As you can see, selling pressure came in, which later led to the breakdown of the 1.03750 level in the month of July. And since that breakdown happened in the month of July, we saw that price has been trading below that structure to further emphasize the strength of the sellers at this time. Well, in the last couple of weeks now, I think around 4 to 6 weeks, we saw a bullish momentum that triggered breaking out of that $1 mark area, a very strong psychological level, leading price right back into the bearish trend line area here, which also shares a confluence with that important key level at the 1.03750. We saw a little consolidation phase around that area before price continued, broke out of that level and started finding higher highs and higher lows. So in the last couple of weeks, we saw a situation where bullish momentum led price into the 1.03750. That was last week. And during the later part of last week, we started seeing selling pressure coming in from that area. And if we look at what is happening here, what has been happening here since on the 28th of the month of November, though we have been having this bullish momentum, but you will notice that the bullish momentum appeared to be reducing as time went by. So look at this impulsive move that broke out of the structure. We saw this impulsive move to the upside. However, if we look afterwards, we saw sharp bullish trend line. Sharp bullish move, which appeared to be reducing as time went by. And this can be characterized by the resumption of selling pressure. We saw one started around the 1.0600 area at the beginning of this month. Then we saw another one happen around this area, which led price back into the structure, which has been holding selling pressure at the beginning of this month. So there are two scenarios we want to be looking forward to here as we head into the new week. Well, if we look at the structure here, that is the area between the 1.03750 here and the 1.0600 level, there are two options that could take place here next week. That the first one is if buy pressure resumes right above the structure. Remember, the structure was broken during the course of last week, a level which has been holding selling pressure before. And if we start seeing buy pressure above the 1.06 level, this might likely lead to a breakout of the 1.07350 level to further incite another wave of bullish momentum. However, if price breaks down the 1.0600 level, followed by selling pressure below that structure, we might be in for a retracement move, which can be characterized as take profits activities, especially from those who took advantage of this move here. So we might be seeing a retracement back into either the 1.03750, the bearish trend that was broken, which appears to also share a confluence with this temporary bullish trend line that has been holding by pressure since the later part of the month of September. So these are the structures we are going to be looking at. But before I go into the lower time frame, where I will be giving you a simple setup we can use to take advantage of trading opportunities this week, let's look at what we have on the macroeconomic calendar, which will be serving as catalyst for price movement for this week. So since we are treating the euro USD, we want to be looking at macroeconomic events that will be affecting both the euro and the US dollar. But what we have on the economic calendar is only for the USD, US dollar. And that is on Thursday, we have the GDP for quarter three. And then on Friday, we have the durable goods order and the non defense capital goods order, which these are major high impact events that has a tendency of serving as a catalyst to drive price action for this week. So, definitely, participants in this market will be looking forward to this event in order to make an informed decision on this pair. So we shall be seeing the reflection of the anticipation as price action. So we shall be using the technical structures we identify on the lower time frame to get ourselves prepared so that we can take advantage of any of these opportunities that might come up during the course of the week. So in order to have this, we want to understand what is really going on around here in the last couple of weeks in order to make a decision. So in that regard, I will be scaling down to a much lower time frame like the 4 hours time frame, where things got a little bit clearer, and at the same time I will be using the structure here to identify trading opportunities that we might want to take advantage of this week. So if we look at what has been happening here since the month of September, I think the later part of September we saw how price bullish pressure was accumulated at around the 0.96700 level. And we saw how the bullish momentum started here in the month of November. And as a result of this, I was able to connect a series of higher lows to give us that temporary bullish trend line that you can see on your screen right now. As you can see, price has consistently and uniformly respected that bullish trend line. So now if we zoom into the structure here, that is what has been happening on this chart since the beginning of this month. We have two structures. The first one is the 1.0600 level, a level which has been a major determinant of price action since the beginning of this month. We saw how this level was holding selling pressure here at the beginning of the month before the breakout of the structure happened during the course of last week's trading session, leading into the 1.0700 level, where we started seeing another selling pressure, bringing price right back into that structure, doing a retest of that structure. And remember, that structure also shares a confluence with that bullish trend line we identified earlier. So, with this current structure here, you would admit that we are at a very critical point in the market right now. First of all, we had the breakout of this level last week. Price comes back to do a retest of that structures with the hopes that buyers might likely take over from this level, break out of the 1.0700 level to incite another wave of bullish momentum. But that was not the case here, as we saw another selling pressure during the later part of last week, which led to a little breakdown of both the key level at the 1.0600 level and the bullish trend line, which for me at this point in time is tending towards a possible bearish momentum going into the new week. So, what I'll be looking forward to at the beginning of the week is to see how participants in this market will be relating to this current structure here. So, there are two scenarios we might be looking forward to. Well, the first one here, which doesn't seem likely to happen, that is, if we start seeing buy pressure right above that bullish trend line, leading into the breakout of the 1.0700 level, followed by another buy pressure here, could give us an opportunity to add more position to our buy trade. However, if price continues to the downside in such a way that a breakdown followed by selling pressure below the 1.0600 level on our lower time frame, then I want to be looking out forward to joining that bearish momentum to the downside, which looks very likely at this particular point in time, considering the fact that the bullish momentum that started the month of November appeared to be reducing since the later part of month of November. If you look at how price tested the trend line, so the first touch was here. If we compare this with the second touch here, you can see that the impulse leg reduced drastically well prior to the beginning of this month. Then if we compare it with this one, you saw how it has reduced drastically. Well, so these are the scenarios I will be looking forward to this week. So let's see how participants in this market will relate to the structure. But be rest assured that I will be jumping in the comment section of this video to give you an update on what my expectations are after monitoring how participants in this market will be relating to the current structure here during the early hours of this week. I hope this video has been of immense help in making your personal decision on the Euro USD for this week. And if it did, kindly support this project by clicking the like button. You would also want to follow me on my TradingView platform at Darkshary, spelled DARCSHERRY, so that you don't miss out on the regular updates and daily commentaries I normally post on all of my videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you right in the comment section on Monday, as usual. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.